I'm not indie. People say because I'm indie, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm dependent.
You are
I'm
dependent
I'm
rock.
actually the antithesis of
indie.
indie.
Ang ganda.
Like I can't do this by myself. Like even like the thing with Nick. I mean that's
Yeah.
Nick. You know, and in my band, like how we arrange songs, how we perform together.
Mhm.
I'm a small part of that. Like my band is really, we do it all together.
Today, we're stoked to have the ever-inspiring Barbie Almalbis joining us. With her crazy guitar skills and constant creativity, she's always making new music. We talked about her new track, Desperate Hours, explored her musical journey, and dove into her creative process. Ladies and gentlemen, Barbie Almalbis.
Okay, so Barbie, thank you for welcoming us into your home and thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for coming. For making it all the way here.
All right. So let's start from the beginning. Very good place to start. How did you start your whole music journey?
Music. Oh, I grew up in a musical family in Rojas City. Mostly my mom's side of the family. So just around the house, people were always like playing the piano, playing guitar, and it all revolved around serving in church, parang church choir. My lola had a choir, parang led a choir. So like throughout the week they'd be practicing and yeah. So
gospel shops pala.
it was like Catholic church, like the organ. Ganyan, like my lola played the organ and then my mom also wrote songs for the mass and then yun lang. So kaya if you can't really escape it. Somebody's like playing the piano. Somebody's like, come here, sit here, I'll teach you the piano. So when I was a kid, I learned the chords and everything. And then around grade 5, I learned the guitar.
And that's where it took off your whole
Yeah,
guitar.
actually, yeah. It was like me. It was guitar. It wasn't even love for music. It was just a love for guitar.
Okay.
Like I didn't have a favorite band or a favorite song or anything. I just held the guitar and it's like I like the way it feels, I guess, and I like the sound. I don't know. So I played it every day. So I don't even remember what songs was I playing. I just was playing guitar.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what I was playing. So I was playing guitar. So I was 11. So siguro by 13. High school na, that's when I discovered songs I liked. So at least I knew how to play guitar now, so now I can play the songs, but it was really about just the guitar.
Okay, so before we started rolling, you were playing with the guitar.
It's just my security blanket.
And
like,
yes.
Yeah. Wala lang, parang, so I guess it's not, apart from the sound, I just like the way it feels in my hands. It's like a massage, you know? So sometimes I come home from a gig.
And you just need...
And I'm like, I'm just gonna relax. So I'm just like relaxing by playing.
Galing.
So
Okay.
I guess that I don't know. I like the way it
The
feels.
tactile,
the experience.
of
Yeah.
it. Galing.
So that's what I did because I grew up in Ross City in the 80s, early 90s, before MTV. Before cable TV.
Some kids might not recognize that.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, it was really. How would I say? Very relaxing. The whole city just falls asleep very early. You know what I mean? So I had to find recreation. Parang ganun. So it was the guitar every day.
Okay.
Just play guitar every day. So I won't be bored.
Okay, so from playing the guitar, when did you venture into writing your own songs? Do you remember the first song you wrote? What was that like?
Okay, so I got into the music that I liked. The first one, the first music that I ever bought in tape form was a Depeche Mode album.
Wow. Okay.
So and then after that, so medyo sila na tail end na ng new wave. Hindi ko na naabutan. So sila na tapos wala na. Hindi ko na binalikan yung until later on, of course. But after that, I just jumped into glam rock with like Bon Jovi and then Guns N' Roses, Skid Row, Warrant, and all of them. Everybody who had like hair like that and those shiny pants, I listened to them all.
Arena rock.
Okay. And yeah, so that was the music that I was like amazed by. Like it was so good, and how they performed. I saw videos like Slash running around the stage.
Yeah.
It's like that's so much fun. I want to do that. I didn't even think because growing up in Ross City, even if my whole family were musicians, none of them were career musicians. Everybody had a day job.
So it was more of a hobby for them.
It's more of like a hobby, but also like a passion. Like they did it every week.
Right.
My mom would write songs. I'd see her in her
Wow,
room writing
okay.
songs for church. It was part
Okay.
of her daily thing,
Okay.
But it wasn't a job.
Mhm.
So I thought that everybody had
Just-
to grow up and then get a job. So I was like, one day I'm gonna be behind the office. It's like I'm so scared of growing up because I'm gonna have to do that.
And we're glad you did it. We're glad. We're thankful, grateful as music fans. Thank you.
So yeah, I didn't know that there was another way. But back then it was that. So yeah, parang nag-digress na
Oh,
yata
okay
ako.
lang. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, so it was that. Oh yeah, and then after, so now meron akong favorite genre, di ba? So then I learned you have these G9, C9, a lot of those glam rock bands always have ballads, di ba? And they would always have these G9, C9.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't remember anymore the words of my first song, but it was a G9,
So-
C9. It's I have new chords I'm learning. So I wrote songs, on those parang, I don't know, love song, something. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't remember. I was
So you wrote a
14.
rock ballad.
Yeah, must have been a rock
Ganda yan.
ballad.
We gotta find that.
Wala na yun.
Wala na yan. Okay, so let's jump a bit to the future. So, growing up, writing those songs, growing up around music. When did you connect with Hungry and Poets? When did that whole thing happen?
Okay, so yeah, so still continued playing guitar every day. Started writing songs, lots of songs, and I wanted to pretend that I had an album. So so I would tape I'm sure people have, this is an old person,
practice.
an old story of an old person
Yeah.
back in the day, Yeah, you get a tape. So you have this we call it a tape recorder, but we
Yeah.
call it karaoke, di ba?
Karaoke, yeah,
Even if,
yeah.
ganyan. Then you tape, you press record, and then you. Well, sometimes I had a keyboard, so I have a drum machine.
Wow. Okay. Elaborate setup.
Yeah,
Okay.
ganyan. So now I have the drums, then I'll move it here to the next tape.
Okay.
To the next side, you play it. And
So
while
yung
it's playing,
four-track, parang ganun.
it's not a four track, it's a
Two-track.
single track, multiple it's a two track.
Multiple layer. Okay.
Yeah, so while it's playing, I'm gonna play guitar. So now it's recorded my guitar and the drums to there. Then I'm gonna get that. And then I'm gonna do like that.
Okay.
And then I'll sing like that. So I made an album, and it's so I have
A
a couple,
full album.
I don't know, it's 10 songs. I don't know, just
Wow,
the songs.
Okay.
And then I gave it to some friends. But it's just for fun.
For fun, yeah.
Yeah, so I just kept writing like that.
Mhm.
And then I had a couple of bands in school. Some people I got to jam with. Even in college na, I had a band din that mga friends ko sa Lasal din. We joined Battle of the Bands, mga ganyan.
Classic. Yeah.
And then, sa Hungry and Poets naman, I was in accounting class, and then I sat beside Raymond Golamco. And then I wasn't listening in accounting class. I was writing a song, and he noticed. He's like, "Are you writing a song?" So biglang nagkwento na kami kasi guitar player pala siya. He was already in the scene. He was gigging. He was a session guitar player na very good. And then he had this, he showed me a photo. He's like, in your wallet, diba? He's like, he's my guitar. It's not his girlfriend. It's his guitar. And his like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he said, there's a guy now who's looking for, maybe somebody like you who can write songs, and maybe I can introduce you. Yeah, and then just one day, Ricky's knocked on my door with his glasses and his bass. He's like,
Classic.
hey, he's like that. Yeah, and then we formed
That's
the
how it
Hungry and
started.
Poets, yeah.
Ang galing.
And then, so it was great because he's an arranger,
Is he
producer.
classically trained musician?
Yeah,
right?
not classically, but he studied
He went
in
to-
the Bass Institute.
There you go, yeah.
Parang he finished music course
Music
na.
talaga, yeah.
So he's he knew a lot of things about even the business side of music and about just how, Me, I just had my songs and my daydream. It wasn't even a real dream. It was just it's just something, my hobby.
Okay.
But then I had so many songs.
Right,
So
right.
then we worked together. He arranged the songs, and then,
It worked. But given the context na you make your own cassette and all of a sudden you're in a studio with Ricky.
Oh, yeah.
How'd
No,
that
parang
feel?
talagang bata kasi wala akong talaga. Parang I have no idea what a band is supposed to sound like.
Okay,
I don't know what the good drum sound is. I don't know what the drummer is supposed to do.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's really, I just had the songs. That's
Yeah,
it. And my acoustic guitar, and then we have a song, sabi niya, gawin natin ska, gawin natin ganito. Parang really arrange talaga niya. Gawin natin rock, gawin natin, so I learned a lot from him. He was the one who made me my first pedal board, like
Wow.
out of a
He rigged it out.
chopping board, a literal chopping board. And there's
Okay.
like 2 boss pedals. You like stuck them there. You put a handle and then a tuner. Like he's like, you need a tuner or whatever. Like
yeah.
parang noob talaga, super noob. Pero siya, he's been gigging na. And then my first ever gig was playing in between his sets with Jet Pangan. Jet Pangan had this solo
He
career
had his own thing.
in the
going.
late 90s. So they were so gracious to let me be their intermission number.
Intermission.
Like pag
Hindi pa
nag-guest,
front act eh.
hindi front act, intermission.
Intermission.
Mag one set kasi sila, tapos
Oo.
magsa-second set sila. So
Yeah.
magti-3 songs ako dun sa gitna.
With Ricky or by
No, by myself.
Okay.
And then, and then after a couple of, maybe did that maybe 3 times, 4 times, ganyan. And then, yun, biglang somebody was opening a bar. It was actually Freedom Bar. So it was new at the time. So they're like, we're opening a bar down the road.
Yeah.
You want to play there every Monday? I'm like, wow. I
Every
only have 3
request
songs.
ka na.
I only have 3 songs. Wait, I need, how long am I playing for? An hour. I need 15 songs.
Galing.
So we started, at first it was me lang, and then later Ricky joined me, and then after a couple of months or weeks, then we had naging 3-piece. We had a drummer na.
Playing in Freedom Bar. And then
Yeah, so Freedom Bar, it was fun, right? It was
Yeah,
fun, great, but also painful.
okay,
Because that was my
okay.
first time, like really having a gig.
Mhm,
I mean, I love playing,
but
but then you're there, right? Playing your songs. And then people are just watching, and then the lights are dim, and they're just like that. And it's just, parang stage fright talaga.
for sure, yeah, for sure.
Masakit siya,
Oo.
mahapdi.
Mahapdi, that's the
it's-
word. That's
yeah,
the perfect
it's
word.
painful.
Yeah.
But then you love playing, so you're just gonna go and
We just go
play
back for it, no?
anyway. But
Yeah.
it's painful until you get over it, I guess. Kasi especially in the beginning, because they don't know who you are. They don't
yeah.
know what, and then you're playing our original
Original
songs.
yeah.
So, but then later on, when people start to respond, it's a conversation. So sometimes they give you something,
Yeah.
right? It's
yeah.
like, hey, we're friends now. They're like,
Reciprocating.
reciprocating.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it gets easier.
Mhm.
So but it was really a training ground for me.
For sure.
It also happened quickly kasi nga Freedom Bar was a happening
It
place.
was happening, yeah.
Like after in a few months we were there, we were playing with the E-Heads because they had a thing there. They had like a gig there. So we were there backstage and they were so
Insane.
nice. They were like, hey, at least like, hey, my sister also plays. Like, guys like that. and then see Raymond, then, hey, I saw you guys in Lasal. Like that.
Okay.
They were so
Galing.
nice. And then we opened for Triaxis
What? Okay.
for the album launch.
Okay.
So we opened, ang nalaman ko lang si Perf pala yung nag-request sa amin. Parang,
What?
recently na sabi niya, alam mo, kasi nga that's where we got like signed because we opened for them.
For
And
them.
so it was full, like the label,
Na-showcase kayo.
na-showcase kami sa mga labels. So
Galing.
after that, we got a deal. So it was like, sabi ni Perf, alam mo ba, ako nagsabi sa
Thank you, Perf.
thank you, Perf. So, ako nagsabi sa kanila to get you guys to open. I was like, oh, I
Okay.
never knew that. It's like, but so it was very fast. Like,
Perfect timing.
yeah, it was like after a few months of gigging in Freedom Bar, we got signed na, and then we
Galing.
made an album na. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned you started up playing gigs in Freedom. People didn't know you.
Yeah.
Can we fast forward a bit to when you guys had a hit? You guys were gaining more traction on the scene. What was it like when, the crowd started changing a bit more? They were more responsive. They knew who you were.
It's fun. It was fun, of course. Like, happening fast. Yan nga. Like I mentioned nga kanina, parang hindi ko naisip na maging thing to, like serious thing. So I'm not a person who's a dreamer. I mean, no, I'm a daydreamer, right?
Okay.
Like, it's like, that's what Slash is doing is so much fun. I want to do that. Ganun lang ako, yung dream. Hindi ako yung parang in 5 years, in 2 years.
Really?
I'm not, even until
Not
today.
even now?
No.
Okay.
I'm not like I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm not like that. I just,
So you're not
I
big
just-
picture.
no.
Wow.
I just like to, yun nga, parang I can't help but like, I need
Yeah.
to play my guitar. I can't help but,
mhm.
parang ganun lang. I just
Okay.
do the work. Parang
Okay.
ganun lang. I like doing it. Like,
Galing.
so like, so ganun din. So parang lahat ng nangyari, parang surprise din lahat. Na
Ang galing
parang,
naman.
although, siguro the thing is, like later on, maraming layers siya eh. Mamaya may pressure na.
For sure.
Right? So, may mga times din na parang, pag binalikan ko siya, parang sayang hindi ko na-enjoy yung moment na yun. Or sayang hindi ko na-appreciate for what it was. Like before, especially like I hate contests. But I like playing, right? It's like you, right?
Yeah.
It's just the innocence of it, like just the music. But suddenly you're thrust into this thing, and now you're in an award show, and you're like, you know what I mean? You're like,
for sure.
I mean, but now I'm so, it's like, wow, I should have. I was grateful, but I should have been more grateful to even be on that list. You know what I mean? But then like, you go to like awards, and they're like, and then the top, you're a nominee.
There's that pressure.
Yeah,
there.
it's like
all of a sudden it's a competition.
Yeah. I didn't want a competition.
Yeah.
I just want to play music, right? But then
right.
suddenly you're thrust into this world, and so there's not pressure now to be like to be something, or to be like that your next song should be as strong as
Better
your
than
last song.
yeah.
You know, it's actually messes with your mind if you're not ready.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, that was something that I had to like also deal with. Like just to, parang how do you keep your innocence and not be
And your love for the craft.
Your love for the craft. And those are things that that happens, I guess.
Because there's definitely that tendency for when it evolves from being something that you do for fun, and then all of a sudden it's your job, and it's like you lose your love for it. And I'm glad you haven't. So how did you mentioned you had to deal with it. How did you deal with it?
How did I deal with it? I don't know. I guess just through the years, like just little by little, understanding what I was going through, or how I was seeing things. But I also, I should say, like my like relationship with God is also something that has really parang made me see it from a different perspective.
Wow,
Din, na parang, kasi what happens is like, diba, yun, I have no plans, and suddenly people are like, you know, like appreciating you or what you do. So suddenly it kind of becomes your identity. Like this is why I'm valued, right? And this is why I'm valuable, because like, you know, you like my music. You know, things like that. But then what if they don't like your next song? So then suddenly you're insecure. You know what I mean? If you, parang there's a temptation to get your security from your success. I mean, I think I fall so easily.
Heavy.
I think a lot of people do, like fall easily into, like, where do you find your value, right? So it makes you, I guess it made me terribly insecure, because that's parang, this is the reason why I'm liked. This is the reason why I'm loved. So, but you can't control that. Like, you can't, like, what if I can't write anymore? Like, what if I can't write a cool song anymore? Things like that. So that's why I said, like, it's my walk with God that kind of helped me. I mean, it's a continuous process until today. Like, going back to Him, you know, God, I'm special because you love me. You know, like, doesn't matter what my next song's gonna be. And not just relationship with God, but also people, like real friends, family who've seen you at your lowest, and you know they're gonna stick around. You know, parang gano'n.
Sure,
So, parang, ano na, like digress na ako. Pero yun, but that's how I kind of dealt with the pressure. Parang I had to detach myself to realize that that's not who I am.
So this is what I do, but it's not.
This is what I do, and I'm grateful for it. It's so much fun. But like, like last night we had such a fun gig. Before I would wanna stay there because it's so fun. But now I know, and like, it's like, you know, people are. It's not all gigs are like that. Sometimes it's like crew. Sometimes there's nobody there. But sometimes the gigs are so fun.
For sure.
But then at that moment I already know, like, 2 hours later, I'll be at home alone. Yeah. You know, but I'm gonna enjoy. This is super fun, but that's not who I am.
There's gonna be an adrenaline drop.
Yeah. But when I was young, I used to want to stay there, right?
Sure.
So, and then
stay in the high of it.
Yeah. So I have to find a different high that's sustainable for life.
Sustainable.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ayun lang. It's a journey though. It's
sure.
not a one thing. It's years and years of like, ano tawag doon, imposter syndrome, mga ganyan. Years and years of just like going up and down, like, I'm great. No, I suck. No, it's fun. I suck. It's like that. But you know, in the end, when the pandemic happened, I guess this is where one of those tests maybe for me, or made me see how I view things. When the pandemic happened, akala ko, titigil na lahat, di ba? All of us. Ano bang next week natin, next month, di ko nga alam.
For sure. Yeah.
Not just like the food we eat, but our career, ganyan.
Anything,
You know what I did? Like, I had my guitar, I was in my room playing songs, and I was like, wow, at least I still have this.
You can play, yeah.
I was like, this is what I had, what I always had when I was young, just me in my room singing, playing, writing songs, singing songs. And I was like, it's still fun. Like, I just doing that kahit na walang mangyari bukas.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what, yun lang yung ayokong, parang yun, I'm happy that I'll never lose that. Like,
Love for the music.
yeah, it's just the music. That's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to jump on.
Sorry.
No, but that's
Yeah.
beautiful, no? But sige, let's fast forward a bit. So you just released a new track.
Yeah.
And it's bonkers. It's crazy.
I'm glad you like it,
Can we
Enzo.
talk about it a bit? Desperate Hours. Diba?
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, intro pa lang, it's so dense. It's so full of like all these
Yeah,
things
no,
happening.
it's really props to Nick Lazaro,
Nick Lazaro,
who actually we co-wrote the track and he produced it too. So it's been a really wonderful experience talaga working with him. And yeah.
I mean, it's great because the lyrics sort of sum up what we just talked about, right? It's about anxiety and dealing with all those things.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what was going through?
Yeah, I guess in a different form. Parang it's more. So maybe I'll tell you how we met.
Sure,
Nick,
yeah,
and how
please,
this
yeah.
all started. So I'd seen him around in the scene with his band, Twin Lobster, Moonwalk, diba? And then also working with other musicians. Nakikita ko na siya, pero hindi kami talaga nag-uusap. And then, nag-shoutout siya sa Facebook mga 5 years ago. It's like, people I want to work with, like that. And they just
Wow.
And then I just like hearted it, just like that. And then 5 years ago pa yun. And then, because I always thought he was cool. Like, he was always doing interesting stuff. And then, that's it. And then a few months ago, less than a year ago, he did it again. He just like posted the videos, like, he just tagged me. We're not even friends on Facebook. He just tagged my fan page. And then it's like,
Wow.
Barbie, like, let's do something like this. And I was like, let's do it. I was like, and then he messaged me. He's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, let's go do it.
Yeah.
And then, so we set a meeting. Okay, so when we set a meeting, I'd released some albums like over the last couple of decades, but writing has been a bit of how would I say, a different experience from when I was young. But before, kasi when I was younger, like Hungry Young Poets or early Barbie's Cradle, it was just like the songs were just like, parang wrote themselves kind of.
Really? Okay.
But then over the years, it's like, may time na parang feeling ko may writer's block ako
It's more tedious a bit.
ng 5 years. Alam mo yun, parang, basta, it's just like, especially because of life, like my life stage.
For sure, yeah.
It's like, got married and had
Mom,
2 kids.
yeah,
Right? It's like, ano huhugot ko sa mommy? Diba? Nagsusulat ako ng kanta about being pregnant, which I did. A song about when my children were small and they're so cute, which I did. You know what I mean? And then finally we had pets, so we wrote a song about our cat. Like, parang, it's great. I'm like I said, I'm just happy to be making music, right? So
for sure.
Martin, like even like we wrote an album together because I was like, Martin, I can't write. He's like, I'll help you write. That's right. So he's like, I know your process na. Nagkabatuhan kami ng idea. So we made an album, Scenes from Inside. Most of it was just our collaboration.
Okay.
So anyway, fast forward nga. After Nick and I set the date to meet, parang this, like what you said kanina, anxiety, parang just something just emotionally, I went through something emotional that just hit me without warning, like a bus. Like that. And I couldn't sleep or eat much.
I know.
And then, so parang life was hard. Life was hard emotionally. But the only thing that was easy was writing songs.
Galing.
I would wake up in the morning
You always
and
go back to it.
I woke up in the morning, I was just feeling so many things and just like trying to console myself with music. I'm like, what else can I do? I can't eat, sleep. It's hard to breathe. What else can I do? I'm just going to try to write a song. And I write the song in like 30 minutes or an hour. And I still don't feel better after. But at least I got to write a song.
So you were distracted for that hour.
Yeah. So yun lang. So, and so, like, parang 3 weeks after, which was our meeting with Nick, I had 3 songs na. Parang after, like, not writing that way for years, suddenly the songs just started pouring in.
They were there.
And then when I met Nick, he was like, so I was like, hey, I have 3 songs to let you hear. So we can, dapat nga one song, wala naman kami talagang plano. Di ba? Facebook shout out lang talaga, wala kaming plano. So we thought it was gonna be one whatever, let's just jam, you know. But by the time I met him, I had 3 songs na to present. And then siya rin sabi niya, last night before we met, I tried to make something. I like slept at 2 because I was trying to put something together, like a track with the drums and everything. Sabi niya, but it's I don't like it. He's like, but anyway, I'd let you hear it. So then he'd like play. It's like, yeah, it's cool. Sabi niya, but anyway, since I don't like it, when I woke up this morning, I made another one. It's like, because our meeting was like, I don't know what time was that, 4? Basta ganun. And I woke up in the morning, I made another one. And then he played it. It was the Desperate Hours riff.
The riff.
With the drums and everything. It was like, I was like, that's amazing. I'm like, but then I'm not used to write. I usually just write my feelings with an acoustic guitar in the gym. I'm not used to writing something
with
that is
already there.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's, you know, parang, but I loved what he did. I'm like, and it's like, diba, it's very syncopated.
Yeah,
the
time signature.
Time signature niya, sabi ko, hindi, 4/4 lang yan.
4/4 pala.
Just write, like that. So I don't have to overthink it or to count or anything. Just, ayun lang. So then, I took home, exchange gifts kami. So my tracks, I sent it to him. He started working on an arrangement for the stuff I sent him. And then I started writing on top of the riff that he made. So, and then a couple of mornings after, I woke up and I wrote again, like, parang ang bilis lang. I wrote the pre-chorus and then the verses like that, parang an hour, like that. And then the following day, I wrote the chorus. It was, ganun din siya. And I realized now why it was hard to write. But I got to know this time around what kind of writer I am.
Okay.
I'm not an imaginative, like, I mean, I'm not like, no, that sounds self-deprecating. I'm not a fiction person.
Okay.
Like kasi my husband, si Martin, he loves watching all these like
fantasy, sci-fi.
Fictions. Oh, he loves them. He like watches like, he's one of those people who wants to watch Lord of the Rings once a year. Like the whole thing.
See, that's why we get along.
Yeah.
So,
me, I have to like, I watch it and then I have to stand up and like clean something, you know?
I can't do that.
I'm sorry. But I'm not a fiction person. Like even the books that I read, it has to be, or listen to, I like listening more than. Yeah.
But your lyrics are so...
No. I mean, I listen to books, but I mean, I like real stories. I like real stories,
rooted in reality type stuff.
Like a fantasy. So anyway, back to the writing. So dun na-realize ko na ba't hindi ako makasulat before, and na-realize ko na ba't ang dali magsulat ngayon, because I don't have to invent anything. I don't have to imagine anything. I don't have to make fiction, to make any fiction. So like Desperate Hours, that was just exactly what I was feeling and going through. I was just like this. This is how I feel right now. And this is how I feel. That's what I do. It's just a diary to me. So since been going through this emotional turmoil, the songs are just like, I feel terrible today.
Yeah.
I can't breathe. I can't, so,
am I the adversary?
Is it me? Is it what's wrong with me? Like all those words are just things that I experienced.
Out of the abundance of the heart.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. So alam ko na ngayon, at least moving forward, alam ko na but how I should be writing. I shouldn't try to be to do that. I just have to be a journalist, sort of.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be always about me. I don't always write about it, but it has to be a real thing that I'm experiencing. Na parang, you know.
So can we talk, since we're there, since you brought it there, can we talk about your songwriting process a bit? So first for Desperate Hours, it was like that. But usually, like you mentioned.
Usually, ano lang talaga, a chord progression or a riff. There's something there that's interesting. I just loop it. Loop, and then just start singing usually gibberish. Kasi it's musical, di ba? Parang sometimes it's really the music.
So your melody first before the lyrics?
The melody, parang to start, parang gibberish siya kasi may words na siya. Pero medyo doesn't make sense. But by the second line, I mean, I just keep doing that until a sentence emerges. Like
so
that.
The syllables aren't yet.
Yeah. So sabay sila usually. I write the lyrics and the melody. Sabay.
So it starts from just
the
noodling
riff.
with the guitar.
And then playing around with different melodies and different words and then this corny pa. Oy, okay na. And then okay, move on na. Oy, maganda na. Move on next line. Ganun lang talaga. Parang remember before, like we saw each other in like a songwriting
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, I
right?
took your
Yeah,
class,
yeah,
yeah.
you're, yeah,
I took her class.
yeah. You're in high school? Were you in high
College.
school?
Yeah,
College ka
yeah,
na.
yeah.
I mean, yun nga, it's good to know. I mean, nobody taught me how to write songs. You know what I mean? At
Okay.
14, I just like,
Mm-mm.
if you know some few chords in the guitar, you can
Yun
just
na
go
yan.
ahead, just
Yeah,
write the
for
song,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm all for like the learning stuff and, but I don't know. Parang, because you can already write a song, right? I mean, the thing that I love about songs, the songs that are my favorites are songs that surprise me. Right? So
Love
that's what I'm always looking for. So I mean I know the rules. I know that if you have a G, you can go to C and then E minor and a D, 1-4-5, and your song will sound decent, right? It won't sound like
Weird, like random
Weird,
chords put
random,
together,
right?
Yeah.
so you can make a decent song with those, and then you can have a melody that are within the scale. Like that, right? But then, I mean, the first thing you think about might be like the easiest. You know what I mean? It might be too boring because it's been done so many times.
It's the basic one.
Yeah. So parang ganun na siya. So it's like I just have these chords looping until I just like play around lang talaga until I surprise myself. Parang I haven't heard that before.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. That's what I'm hoping for as an artist, just to find something that's
Different.
May something na parang, you know, it's worth saying because it's something new. Parang
Something
ganun lang.
new. Yeah.
So,
Galing.
Pero both. Para, narinig ko lang to na kailangan na, I mean, a good pop song. If you're trying to write a pop song, at least, it's got to be a balance of the familiar and also the new. Kasi if it's too new, it's too jarring and inaccessible. But then, yun nga, if it's too naman familiar, it's boring na.
Yeah.
So, hahanapin mo yung ano nun. Para sa'yo, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang, sa akin, tama yung balance niya.
So given that, again, let's jump back. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. But let's jump back to Desperate Hours. Like we were talking off camera before we started. For some people, it's kind of weird, right?
No. I mean, the reaction to it, I'm so happy then that people like get it. Like,
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that because for me, it's something. Mostly it's Nick, like, you know, like what he's done and how he's produced. It's like something that I've always wanted to do. I've said this before, parang I just didn't have not the knowledge, the production knowledge, but also the courage. You know, I didn't think, like when I was singing, even like he's telling me, I actually recorded the vocals already in here in the house.
Okay, yeah.
But then he got it and he's like, it's nice. We'll use this as a guide. Because I want you to try singing in a different way.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So, okay, let's do it. And then he's like making me like,
yeah.
He's like, I want a witchy voice. He's like that. He's like, okay, you gotta sing like a crow this time. It's like that. And then, and it was fun. But in the few minutes that we were recording, I'm like, okay kaya to? Parang,
So you doubted it then?
No. I mean, I trusted him because I love his work and I like what he's been doing. But just in the moment, it's like, oh, I've never sang this way before.
Yeah.
And then I've never sang this way before, and I've never like let loose this way before. Does it even sound good? Parang ganon. He's like, trust me, it's gonna be cool.
And it is. It's so cool.
And then so I was just like, okay, fine. It's like he like made my in-ear because I want to hear myself so that you can adjust like how you sound, right? You adjust your voice so it sounds pretty to yourself. Like that's nice. He made my in-ears like loud.
Super loud.
So sabi niya, para daw ako nasa sagiho. Ganon.
That is what it's like.
It's super loud. And then my vocals, he turned it low. So I can just barely hear myself. Sometimes kasi masisintonado ka nun eh. Kasi hindi mo na... Pero yun nga, pero okay lang. Parang kasi nga, you need to be able to have that headroom. So you can let loose and not be self-conscious.
Galing.
So it's like, bahala na, basta sabi mo, okay to. I've never shouted like this. And when I heard it in context, okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I'm gonna do this from now on.
Ganda.
So now it's a new learning for me, but it's something that, you know, he's it's he's expert na siya sa ganun sa
Yeah.
production.
Yeah. Obviously, it's been fruitful, this partnership with Nick. Is there,
Oh,
you
yeah,
guys gonna do more things? Or
Yeah,
what's-
we're actually, since we did that song, I'm like, we were gonna do one, di ba? Like, I don't think I can go back from this. I was like, I can't like suddenly make this and then suddenly go back.
Yeah.
I think we have to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, so we've been recording, making stuff, experimenting more. And sometimes you'd be like, I'm so sorry. Did I do too much? Did I do like, is it too wild? Like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, here's more rope. Like, here, just like, sorry, did I do too much? Like, is it like too crazy na ba?
Okay.
No, more pa. Parang
Go
it's like,
crazy,
kahit like,
yeah.
here's more rope, you know. But yeah, you were saying kanina nga that, parang may mga reaction din na parang, which I love. Like, some people say, like, parang, it's so weird.
Astig nga.
They think it's weird or they think they like it, but it's weird. I think it's a compliment na rin na.
For sure.
Na okay
For
na
sure.
rin yan na. At least it's something new. But for me, it's not weird. For me, it's something that I really like. Yeah.
So we're gonna hear more stuff with you and Nick.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Nice.
To hear.
Okay, we're down to our last few songs. Eh.
Uy, magig na tayo.
Last set na namin. No, last few questions. Yeah, so you shared that experience working with Nick. I wanted to talk about some other experiences. Is there any other memorable experience when you were writing a song or putting together the music, or is there anything you can share, like an anecdote?
Well,
something
like for me,
similar?
like yesterday we had a gig with my band. So I love my band. It's Karel on the bass and then John on the drums and Nico on the keys. So yeah, you know, like a lot of the music that you hear, diba? It's parang I'm not indie. People say because I'm indie, right? No, I'm dependent.
You are
I'm
dependent
I'm
rock.
actually the antithesis of indie.
Ang ganda.
Like, I can't do this by myself. Like, even like the thing with Nick. I mean, that's Nick, you know. And in my band, like how we arrange songs, how we perform together. I'm a small part of that. Like, my band is really, we do it all together.
Yeah, I remember you wrote something about Wicked Heart, like
Yeah,
not being
yeah.
able to play it live. And
Yeah. Kasi, yun nga, everybody was busy. All my bandmates are like session players also. So, they were just busy at the time.
Best
And
in
I
the
also
biz,
took upon the challenge na rin na ano, sige nga, try ko nga to gawin. So, it's like, I did like basta I wanted to kind of produce the song on my computer by
Arrange
myself,
it.
arrange it. So, I did that. And then, but eventually, tinutugan na rin naman nila. Pero yun nga, since it was done that way, we tried to play it live. It just didn't fly. It was like, kasi it's different if it's a record.
For sure.
So after a few months, we finally got to like, just to arrange it. And then they totally rearranged it. So now I'm happy to play it live. Before I was like, get anxiety every time we have to play this song live because I know it's not gonna fly. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, and so last night we played Desperate Hours for the first time as a band. So we had to rearrange it then. Kasi nga,
Okay.
Nick and I did it lang. Kaming dalawa lang sa studio. So with the stems and everything, we decided to like, wait, we're not a stems kind of band as of yet. Parang it kind of like took away from, hindi pa kami ready, hindi pa
From
kami
the
sanay.
live feel.
When we took it out, we were just like, let's just do everything live. And then
So raw yung
raw.
atake niyo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
The
feel like,
song's very raw.
so I feel like the song's still there without the
Stems.
things. Yeah, but kasi Carl's more busy, the drummers, Jonas, everybody's did some new parts to make it translate live. And I'm so happy with
We got it.
what happened.
I
What
got
happened?
it live. I got to hear it live. Oh, I guess to wrap it up, you know, we talked about the songwriting process. We talked about your evolution and everything. What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far? And you know, knowledge you can impart to our viewer.
I don't know.
Wisdom.
So, ano ba? Art, music is important, right? It's a beautiful part of life, talaga. But we gotta be there for each other, right? Parang, medyo hugot to, pero diba? Parang the world systems are not that kind to artists, right? Like, growing up nga, parang lahat dapat may fallback, diba? Parang, it's almost like as if it's not that important. But if you think about it, like, during the pandemic, diba? We're non-essential. We're the first ones to go, right? But what did we do during the pandemic? We watched movies, we listened to, what made us kept us sane? It was art, right? Music, and so it's really a part of, but, ayun na nga, parang, so, I'm just, kahit ganun yung scene, di ba, may mga contest, may mga award, may mga ganyan. But behind the scenes, we have to be solid talaga, like, supporting each other. Kasi it's hard. It's hard, you know, just the world system, life is hard, you know. But art is important, so we gotta just keep doing it and doing it, whatever it takes.